So, you want to find some gold, huh? Well, you're going to learn how to pan for some Arizona gold. I got my hole over there. I moved a pretty big rock. My material, I noticed I'm getting the best gold where I have this clay. It's like gray. There you go, you can kind of see it now. But yeah, definitely smells decaying. But I'm gonna just put this down. Just give you an idea of what panning is like. So I got everything in a classifier. It's 1/4 inch. And then underneath I have a Garrett Super Sluice pan. First thing you always want to do when you have a lot of clay like this is knead it. You want to make sure you get all that clay out, and any material that could be stuck in the clay will be freed up. It's February, so it's pretty cold. I gotta wear these gloves to be able to work out here for any real amount of time. I'll check through all this stuff later. If you're in a location that has nuggets, you're going to want to look through the classifier, see if you can find any quartz. So once I get through the classifier, I'm going to do the same thing in the pan. I'm going to knead it in case there's any 1/4 inch clay balls that came through. Alright, so now once you did that, you're going to want to get some new water in there and start to stratify. Get rid of some of that nasty dirt. So what you want to see is clean rocks all the way around. No mud balls, no clay clumps. And now I want to make sure that I always know where my back is. And you can tell by this circle, or where the riffles are in the front. That's my front. So I'm gonna stratify and get some of this bigger material off. And it's almost like a pushing and pulling. You're letting the water in, and then you're pushing the water out. You can do the original panning motion. What I like to do when there's a lot of pebbles that get stuck in the ripples, we'll do the teeter-totter. And that really doesn't lose gold, but it gets rid of those bigger rocks. And then I'm gonna take my material, get it all the way on the bottom, make sure there's no clay getting stuck in any of these little nooks and crannies in my pan. Basically just making sure everything's thoroughly washed. Getting all the mud out. You always want to make sure you keep the bottom of the pan, the lowest point, down. So my lowest point is right here. I'm always keeping it at this angle. So I was taught by one of my friends here that whenever you get to the bottom and you start to actually see the line between your two ripples, this line, that's when you stop, and that's when you do the first pan back. So basically what I'm waiting for right now, get most of that material out until I can see the ridge that separates my two ripples. And that's important because if you, before the next step, if you have too much material, it's going to be a lot harder. Alright, so right around there. See how there's two ripples that you can see? That's where I want to stop. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all material to one side. And then I'm going to pan back half of it. And then I'm going to start to shake it. And you see how all those pebbles fell down? That's what you're going to want to do. So that way you can treat the last of your pan in sections, in half pieces. So now I'm just going to carefully pan this out, get rid of some of those bigger pebbles. See if there's any gold. No gold. So now we're going to do the same thing again. Get everything to one side, and then we're going to start painting it back a little bit. See how all those rocks just fell down? It's just the easier way of doing it without reaching your fingers in and picking all those pieces out. You're going to want to make sure you stratify the whole time and be very careful and observant on this end, because you can lose gold if you're not being careful. Alright, so now we're actually ready to pan it back. Get our material inside. And there, you can see a little flake. What I like to do is sometimes I give it a little bump. Makes all the gold go right in that little corner. And I do this usually 2 times before I throw away the black sand, but that's how you pan for gold, my way. And I'd say I get through a pan pretty quick. The most important part is to continuously stratify and get rid of all that clay, because gold loves to sit on the top of the clay layers because it can't penetrate any deeper, it just stays there. So in this area, it's not every area, I'm finding a lot of gold in the clay. So I hope I taught you something new that you didn't know, and good luck out there finding gold, wherever that may be. Just make sure it's legal, okay?